They didn't go over the fence, and they didn't go under it, and they didn't go out the front entrance. An 18-year-old and a 17-year-old on a work detail within the Department of Youth Affairs were clearing brush on the south end of the DYA facility when they dropped their bush cutters and went right through a gap in the outer perimeter fence that's been there for 2 years. Neighbor Ben Torres' sister watched it from the window of her home.
She saw the two guys take off this way, meaning, they're heading for this open-ended, unsecured area, and you can see for yourself that this fence was never completed. It's supposed to meet the other corner of that, wherever this fence ends on that side. When she called the officer inside, I guess she looked up the number for DYA, and some officer, so-called trustee, supposed to be keeping watch on these kids, and asked my sister, "Did you see them jump over the fence?"
DYA Superintendent Greg San Miguel explains that the gap in the outer perimeter fence is a known issue.
With regards to the gap, it is about 2 years ago when our new fence was erected. For whatever reason, the measurement back then, 2 years or after one of our typhoons, for whatever reason, the measurement wasn't accurate. And for that reason, we got about 100-foot gap in the back side.
Acting DYA Director Adonis Mendiola.
They were trusted nonviolent offenders, and were here for drug and alcohol treatment. They were used in previous details, had never give us cause or reason to consider them a flight risk.
The gap in the fence line cannot be closed until the funding has been identified to complete the job.
We have monies that we were going to appropriate to repairing the fence. In fact, in partnership with DOC, work with them to help us put that remaining part of the fence up and mitigate the situation we have with the ability for them to egress. That should happen within the next 2 to 3 months.
There have been a series of escapes from DYA in recent months, but in the previous cases, the detainees all went over the interior fence. New concertina wire has been added to the interior fence to put a stop to that. This is the first time that detainees went out through the gap in the perimeter fence. The real problem, says Acting Director Mendiola, was the lack of supervision.
It's going to have to come down to holding our staff accountable and more importantly, make sure that supervision is kept at all times.
So there was an oversight and supervision in this case?
Correct. And there'll be more as our internal investigations. There'll be findings after our internal investigation in the care of the
Is discipline
kids.
Possible for an officer?
Absolutely, and it'll be progressive disciplinary actions.
Kevin Kerrigan, PNC News.